And good morning, everybody, and welcome to Thanksgiving weekend. Time to give thanks. We're going to talk today about COVID again. You're going to say, well, why are you going back there again? Because I probably have talked to more people with active COVID cases in the last 2 weeks than I did through this entire time. That those that were anti-vaxxers, mostly, those that really haven't done anything proactively, mostly, are now suffering. So, here in Florida, we feel pretty good. Most cases have continued to just whittle away to nothing. We've stayed wide open. We practice with good mindset what we need to do to defend ourselves, mostly. And I still say weather is playing a role here. So I decided to go back and look at the news that has come out about COVID just over the last 2 or 3 weeks and share that with you and redo the protocols that we had initiated almost 18 months ago. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to learn. Stay tuned to protect yourself. And stay tuned to make sure that you can share this with others. Don't sit back and think, I don't need to do anything now. Everything's cool. We'll get started here in 1 minute. The information you hear on the Nutrition Shop Health Talk with Dr. Lynn is strictly educational and is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. Any healthcare decision should be discussed with your health professional. And now, here is Dr. Lynn. And again, good morning to you all. As we do every Saturday morning, every day on your Daily Dose, we play the national anthem. And we have especially this week, coming off Veterans Day and a lot of other issues, and I don't know about you, if you watch the Patriot Awards on Fox Nation, that gave us this good feeling that there's still some hope for this country, even though idiot boy Biden seems to want to take it down to its knees. So we're going to give thanks for what we have at this juncture. Thanks for this country. Thanks for the lives that God has given us. Thanks for all the great things in life. And thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk about COVID. We'll get started here in 1 minute. And again, good morning to you all. You know, I may not have the science to back this, but I have the faith in our Savior, Jesus Christ, to believe this. Why being thankful is a powerful way to live free. Being thankful, a powerful way to stay safe. Being thankful, a powerful way to go into Thanksgiving. Psalm 28 verse 7, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart exalts, and with my song I shall thank him. We have so much to be grateful for in this life every single day. But reality is that sometimes constant life demands, battles, COVID, worry about giving more room to defeat than a heart of thanks. Or we forget in the midst of busyness and pressures just to pause and give thanks for all that God has done and continues to do in our lives. Sometimes it really is a sacrifice to offer praise and thanks. We may not feel like it. We're struggling, we're weary, or maybe we feel like He's let us down. We think God seems distant, like He's far away, or He doesn't really care about what's troubling us. Painful life blows and losses might have recently sent us spiraling. But here's what can make a lasting difference. We have a choice every day to give Him thanks. And with a heart of thanksgiving, we realize that no matter what we face, God doesn't just work to change our situations and help us through our problems. He does much more. He changes our hearts. His power, through hearts of gratitude and focused minds on Him, releases the grip of our struggles that we have over us. We're strengthened by His peace, refueled by His joy. No matter what our current situation or our struggles may be facing, here's what choosing to be thankful for does. Okay, let's talk about COVID again. You may not want to hear this. You may say, like, hey, I'm over this. But if you've watched the news this past weekend, I watched it this morning, where the Rittenhouse trial ended, and you got two parts of this country again divided. We're trying to make this a racial thing when it's not. Sad, really sad, especially in Thanksgiving week. But we hear that Austria has shut down. Australia still shut down. Ireland added to the list, shut down. As COVID surges across Europe, do we need to worry here in this country? Idiot boy Fauci says, yeah, we got to worry about that till the cows come home. We'll never be over this. You know, the new reports that come out saying, well, the vaccine only protects us for about 6 months. You need to get that booster. And we just approved that booster for everybody. And there's probably science to back that, I understand. And that about 80% of this country is now vaccinated. But there's that 20% out there that's really suffering right now. So I want to share with you some of the information that's come out recently, and at least give you some positives of the way, and I've been beating this drum over and over and over again, that you cannot let your guard down. You cannot stop doing what is necessary to upregulate your immune system in the midst of a pandemic. But so many of you did it for a month or 2 or 3 and then just stopped. And we've talked about it. We've talked about buffered C, and I find people running out to Walmart buying ascorbic acid again. And I told you, that will not work. But we'll talk about that. Penn State University. Researchers have created a novel framework that can predict with reasonable accuracy the amino acid changes in the virus spike protein that may improve its binding to human cells and confer increased infectivity to the virus. The tool could enable a computational surveillance of SARS coronavirus and provide advanced warnings of potentially dangerous variants or even a higher binding affinity potential. It's great, says Len, to be able to identify these changes. But what are you going to do to protect yourself? The model also allowed for the prediction of the binding strength of various already observed SARS coronavirus amino acid changes that have been seen in the alpha, beta, gamma, and delta variants. Did you hear about alpha, beta, and gamma? No, I know you haven't. This may provide the computational means for predicting such affinities, and here's the key word, in yet to be discovered variants. Nevertheless, even though our computational tool can find amino acid changes that boost binding affinity even further, they have not yet been observed in circulating variants. This was published in the journals of the Proceeding of the National Academy of Sciences. I want you to listen to this. There was a Dr. Kachpudi that was chairing this, said this, quote, listen, SARS coronavirus can switch hosts as a result of increased contact between the virus and potential new hosts. This tool can help make sense of the enormous virus sequence data generated by genomic surveillance. In particular, it may help to determine if the virus can adapt and spread among, you ready, agricultural animals, thereby informing targeted mitigation measures. What's the takeaway there? This thing called SARS can get into animals, not just bats, dogs, cats, and mutate there and come back at us. Now, I'm not saying, oh my God, do I have to give something to my dog and my cat? No. But I'm saying you have to keep your surveillance up. Researchers discover the hidden SARS coronavirus gate that opens in our bodies to allow the COVID infection. Supercomputing-derived movies reveal details of a deceptive sugar coating on the spike protein, presenting new possibilities to block cell entry and infection. During the pandemic, University of California, San Diego's Dr. Romy Amaro, a computational biophysical chemist, developed a detailed visualization of SARS coronavirus spike protein that effectively latches on to our cell receptors. We actually figured out how the spike actually opens and infects our body. We've unlocked an important secret of the spike on how it infects cells. Without this gate opening in our lungs and our sinus passages, the virus basically is rendered incapable of infection. If we strengthen our body's capability of keeping that gate closed, the virus just waves and goes right through and moves on to somebody else and won't infect you. The spike has a coating of glycans, which are sugar molecules, that help deceive the human immune system, since it comes across as nothing more than a sugary residue. Previous technologies have imaged these structures depicting glycans in static open or closed positions, which initially didn't draw much interest. It goes on to say we actually were able to watch the opening and closing of these ACE receptors in the human body. We showed that without this gate, the spike protein can't take the conformation it needs to infect cells. What's the takeaway message there? Sugar, sugar, sugar. You sit here and don't change your diet, you can run into problems. American Chemical Society. Many efforts to develop vaccines and therapies to thwart SARS coronavirus focus on the coronavirus spike protein, which binds to angiotensin-converting enzyme 2 receptor sites in human cells to allow viral entry. Now researchers have uncovered an active role of glycans, sugar molecules that can decorate proteins, and in this process suggest targets for vaccines and therapies. The takeaway message from this article from the American Chemical Society is diet plays a critical role in protecting you. Some more recent studies. September 8th. Diet may affect the risk and severity of COVID-19 study. Links. Healthy diets. Healthy plant-based foods with lower risks of getting COVID-19 and having severe disease after infection. A healthy plant-based diet was linked to a lower risk of getting COVID-19. Among people with COVID-19, a lower risk of experiencing severe symptoms. Although metabolic conditions such as obesity and type 2 diabetes have been linked to an increased risk, if you have obesity, if you have type 2 diabetes, you're at that extremely high risk category, as well as an increased risk of experiencing serious symptoms once infected. This is the first time that Mass General Hospital, published in a journal called Gut, looked at those whose diets were based on healthy plant-based foods had a lower risk of all counts of infection. Listen, please. Story number 4 or 5. How many people get long COVID? where the symptoms last and last. More than half, researchers have found, more than half of the 236 million people who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 worldwide since December of 19, notice that start date, moved from January of 20 back to December of 19. We're now realizing that we saw something. And if you remember correctly, you've been listening to me, that in November of 19 was the first that I got a call about this. Up to 6 months of recovery time. The research team said that governments, health organizations, and public health professionals should prepare for large numbers of COVID-19 survivors who will need care for a variety of psychological and physical symptoms. Psychological. Penn State College of Medicine researchers. During their illnesses, many patients with COVID-19 experienced symptoms such as tiredness, difficulty breathing, chest pain, sore joints, loss of taste and smell. We've all heard about those. Until recently, few studies have evaluated a patient's health after recovering from coronavirus. To better understand the short and long-term health effects of the virus, the researchers examined worldwide studies involving unvaccinated patients who recovered. According to these findings, adults as well as children can experience severe adverse health issues for up to 6 months or longer after recovering from COVID-19. What's one to do? General trends among survivors. More than half of all patients reported weight loss, fatigue, fever, or pain. Roughly 1 in 5 survivors experienced a decrease in mobility. Nearly 1 in 4 survivors experienced difficulty concentrating. Nearly 1 in 3 patients were diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorders. 6 in 10 had chest imaging abnormalities. More than a quarter of patients had difficulty breathing. Chest pain and palpitations among the most commonly reported conditions. Nearly 1 in 5 patients experienced hair loss or rashes. Stomach pain, lack of appetite, diarrhea, and vomiting are among the currently and commonly reported conditions. Still going to sit back? Not protect yourself? Metabolic changes in plasma and immune cells associated with COVID-19 severity can predict patient survival. After examining the blood samples of nearly 200 COVID-19 patients, researchers have uncovered underlying metabolic changes that regulate how immune cells react to the disease. These changes are associated with disease severity and can be used to predict patient survival. COVID-19 patients have differing immune responses that lead to disease outcome ranging from asymptomatic to death. After examining blood samples from these patients, they have uncovered metabolic changes that regulate how immune cells react to the disease. Researchers collected 374 blood samples, 2 draws per patient, during the first week after being diagnosed with SARS coronavirus, and analyzed their plasma and single immune cells. The plasma samples, the team found that increased COVID-19 severity is associated with metabolite alteration, suggesting increased immune-related activity. We found that metabolic reprogramming that is highly specific to individual immune cells, and it goes into CD cells, etc. This work provides significant insights for developing more efficient treatments against COVID-19. It says, upregulate your immune system the best you can to put up a defensive shield. The study was sponsored by Merck. Like venom coursing through the body, researchers identified the mechanism driving COVID-19 mortality. An enzyme with an elusive role in severe inflammation. Severe inflammation may be the key mechanism driving COVID-19 severity and could provide new therapeutic targets to reduce COVID mortality. Folks, all these studies have come out within the last month. Journal of Clinical Investigation, University of Arizona, Stony Brook University, and Wake Forest. Inflammation. Inflammation. I want you to hold that thought because I'm going to talk to you about SPMs in a minute and why they work. COVID-19 hospitalizations increase among unvaccinated pregnant women. If you're thinking of having a child for the safety of that child, this Delta variant seems to be attracted to a pregnant woman. And the risk factor isn't significantly with mom, but with a child. And we really don't want to do vaccinations once pregnant. So if you're thinking, take this to heart, if you're thinking of getting pregnant this upcoming year, my personal advice is get yourself vaccinated first for the sake of your child. If you're not going to do it for yourself and you're a big-time unvaxxer and you don't want to do that, better think about the health of your child. Research continues to indicate that many people who had COVID-19 go on to suffer a range of adverse conditions months after their initial infection. A deep dive into federal health data adds to those concerns, pointing to a significant decline in kidney function among those dubbed COVID-19 long haulers, and even among those that had mild infections of the virus. Studies published online, Journal of the American Society of Nephrology, known as the silent killer, kidney dysfunction and disease tends to be free of pain and other symptoms. One of many reasons that we said N-acetylcysteine has to be in your repertoire to protect you. I'm going to finish with this one. COVID-19 virus is evolving to get better at becoming airborne. Uh-oh. Studies suggest need for better ventilation, and they're going to go tighter fitting masks in addition to widespread vaccination to help stop the spread of the virus. University of Maryland. Results of a new study, University of Maryland School of Public Health, show that people infected with the virus that causes COVID-19 exhale infectious virus in their breath. And those infected with the Alpha variant, the dominant strain, circulating at the time of this study was conducted, were 43 to 100 times more virus into the air than people infected in the original strain of the virus. So what are you going to do? I'm going to go back to February 24th of this past year. Specialized ProResolving mediators as potential regulators of inflammatory macrophage responses in COVID. I had told you, inflammation was one of the biggies. As a treatment, as a preventative, this article from the Frontiers of Immunology said specialized ProResolving mediators as potential regulators of the inflammatory macrophage response in COVID-19 to protect your organs, to not allow the inflammation to surge in the human body. SPMs. Thank God Nutritional Frontiers came up with those. We have a hard time even keeping them in stock. It's a specialized anti-inflammatory derived from fish oil in a specialized way. Look it up yourself. Specialized ProResolving mediators. Just Google search that. Specialized ProResolving mediators in COVID-19. Go ahead. You look at it and you'll see hundreds of studies about the effectiveness of this of saving lives. That's been our biggie. SPMs. N-acetylcysteine. I know a lot of you gone out and found it, some grocery store somewhere. There is a difference in the quality of N-acetylcysteine. Oh my God, my doctor said it can cause an interference with my medications, It might, which is one of the reasons we have stressed. If you really want to do this right, you should set up a consult time. And by the way, let me just say this. Hopefully we have your email address on file, that you've purchased from us, that you have had a consult with us. We have your email address on file because we are sending out a newsletter Monday morning, Black Friday newsletter with big news. You can get it. Call our staff. We'll put you on that list. Go on that Monday morning, bright and early. We haven't done a newsletter in some time, and it was due, especially in Thanksgiving. And it's going to give you an incentive to book yourself a consult. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Lynn, and I want to talk to you today about a consultation, a nutritional consultation. What's that all about? It's what we do. It's a personal one-on-one time that we put aside, whether it be via social media or Zoom or in person, where we can have the ability to work closely to enhance your health. The aim is to enhance your bodily functions, alleviate symptoms of illness, improve your lifestyle through a nutritional intervention. Some people simply want to undergo a diet to ensure they're eating correctly and avoid illness. Other people have medical problems or are suffering from various symptoms that they believe can be alleviated by making nutritional changes to their diet. Other common reasons to undergo a consultation include a desire to lose weight, digestive issues, skin complaints, low energy, lethargy, stress, fertility issues, competitive sports, the list goes on. Before your consultation, we'll ask you to complete a comprehensive questionnaire. This questionnaire will focus on all aspects of your diet, lifestyle, medical history, medications you may be taking, current health concerns, and really importantly, your goals. We may also ask you to do a food and drink diary for those 3 days, maybe up to a week, so we can document everything you eat and drink during that time. Once you've completed this questionnaire, we'll look it over, and then we'll have a one-on-one consultation, usually about an hour to an hour and a half. And during that time, you'll talk through the questionnaire and diary as well as discuss your lifestyle, your current exercise regimen, your health concerns, your family medical history, your existing symptoms, and really importantly, again, your goals. You can also discuss underlying emotional issues that may be affecting your mood, eating patterns, lifestyle. During this in-depth discussion, you may be asked to do some functional tests, saliva, blood, etc., to try to pinpoint specifically what's going on. Once we have a full and complete picture of your current nutritional, physical, and emotional situation, we'll develop a plan for you. That may involve some nutritional dietary issues, working with our dietitian, working with our chef, or supplements. We can add those to the regimen as well. Vitamins, minerals, fiber, fatty acids, amino acids. But to get the most out of a nutritional consultation, you need to be as frank and honest as you can. The more complete picture that we have of what's going on in your system, the better that we can help you. If you're interested in getting started, give us a call, 678-228-8900, or reach out to us through our website at thenutritionshop.net.
Okay, let me give you a little tease. When you get our newsletter, there's a special there on consults. Okay, there, I told you. Now, let's get back to this. So we said N-acetylcysteine, 500 milligrams twice a day. SPMs, once a day to start out. You feel any inflammation come up, any fever, you up that to 2 a day. Ultra probiotic. There is such a strong link to gut health, where this site of this infection becoming systemic takes place. And remember, not all probiotics are created equal. The ultra probiotic has inulin in it. It's a crucial factor. So again, hate to be just playing these as commercials, but you got to listen because it's so important.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you for just a minute about our probiotic of choice called our Ultra Probiotic. Delivers 30 billion viable organisms per serving of 10 different beneficial strains. A combination of freeze-dried probiotic bacteria with inulin, a beneficial prebiotic. 30 billion organisms in 2 capsules. Each capsule has 15 billion good bacteria. Ultra Probiotic contains both probiotics and prebiotics that work together to support digestion in the immune system. Featuring a proprietary blend of 10 different probiotic strains plus inulin, a prebiotic that stimulates the growth of friendly intestinal bacteria to support colon health. As a dietary supplement, 2 vegetable capsules daily, preferably with a meal. Conforms to USP for weight, dissolution, disintegration, and maximum bioavailability. Contains no artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, no preservatives, no sugar, no starch, no soy, no wheat, no fish, and it is sodium-free and non-GMO. Made in USA in an FDA-registered facility in Tennessee by good manufacturing practices. Again, our probiotic of choice, our Ultra Probiotic, 60 capsules in a bottle. If you want more information on that, by all means, give our staff a call at 678-228-8900. That's 678-228-8900. And get our Ultra Probiotic into your life for you and your family.
Take care. Okay, so we get down N-acetylcysteine 500 milligrams twice a day. Should be taken every day. SPMs once a day, all the time. Ultra Probiotic once a day, all the time. That's your top 3. And now comes the most important, the one I have stressed over and over again. Not all vitamin C was created equal. We had such a demand for buffered vitamin C and the calcium ascorbate that's in there that we hit a difficult time getting raw material recently. We just got it back in stock. Buffered vitamin C of the right forms. 1,000 milligram capsules, 2 a day. It's simple for the entire family. It also comes in a powdered form if you want to dose the entire family. We can help you lay out that dosage. So let me go over this one more time. N-acetylcysteine 500 milligrams twice a day. SPMs once a day, can go up higher if any inflammation. Ultra Probiotic once a day. Go up to a higher dose if any kind of GI issues. Buffered vitamin C 2 a day. Up it if there's any immune system issues that have creeped in. That 4-pronged approach has protected more people from COVID than anything else. Take it to heart, please. And if you have questions, call us at the office today, 678-228-8900, 678-228-8900, 678-228-8900. Okay? God bless you, folks. Have a great weekend. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. I'll see you back here Monday with more news from your Daily Dose. God bless. See you soon.